The Rose Bush. Back in the rock garden, we find Magic Cookie Bean wiping sweat from her brow as she admires the big hole she has just finished digging in preparation for planting a beautiful rose bush.
Phew! That was hard work! But it is well worth the effort, as this precious rose bush may be small now, but it is going to need lots of space to grow big. Hi there, Mr. Pumpkin. I'm so glad you came by. Look at the big hole we have here for our rose bush. You arrived just in time to help me place it in its new home. It was a gift from my mommy and daddy.
I'd be happy to help. This is a fine plant, Magic, and the rock garden is the perfect place for it.
Yes, indeed. You know, Mr. Pumpkin, Mommy told me a story about when she was growing up and her daddy had a rose bush in the backyard by their picket fence. Every day he would go out in the morning and check on it. Helping the rose bush to grow took watering and fertilizing and feeding it special food. When it would get gnarly or the leaves on the branches turn brown, he would clip them off. He called this pruning. This was often done before its buds even started to show. But he knew it needed the pruning times because he had a vision of what the rose bush could look like as a healthy adult plant. He knew for it to develop to its full potential, it would need to have the dead leaves removed to make room for new growth. Mommy said that sometimes the rose bush looked so bare she was afraid he might have killed it. But he didn't. You see, her daddy knew just how to do this, and he took his time. He removed the old leaves and thorny branches very carefully and with tenderness. One time the rose bush got sick. It became infested with these nasty bugs. Everyone was scared of getting near the bugs, so no one dared to do anything about the situation for fear they would get bitten. But her daddy was smart. He sprayed the entire rose bush with this special solution. It drove the bugs away, and they never came back. I'm sure they're much happier someplace else. You see, planting this tiny rose bush teaches us a lot about life and becoming all we can be. The first step is to see the bigger picture of how beautiful the little bush can become. This applies to the little branches of our lives, too. When we take good care to weed out the little things that can often be holding us back before they get too gnarly, the process of pruning isn't nearly so involved. Nip it in the bud, they say. And the beauty is, God's vision for us is to be abundantly blessed and fruitful too. We are His creation. Just like the rose bush, He will prune us toward that vision.